Good morning. I'm Peggy Kelly with the Mighty Santa Paula Times, and this is our education update. Today is Thursday. It's January 21st, 2021. What am I saying? But anyway, we have with us today, we've got the Superintendent of Santa Paula Unified School District, Dr. Ed Cora. We're very happy to have him as a guest today to go ahead and update all the parents out there and staff and the interested community, because Santa Paula is always interested in the schools and the kids. And welcome today, Dr. Cora. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Peggy. It's my pleasure.
Okay, great. Now, let's, where would you like to start today? I know that we have new board members.
You know what, Peggy, I would love to welcome our 3 new board members. I'd like to start with Mr. Chris Wilson, welcoming Mr. Wilson, Mr. Daniel Sandoval, and Mrs. Gabriella Ornelas. So there are 3 new board members. So I'd like to welcome them to the board of the Santa Paula Unified School District.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I know that you're going to be also having another opening. I know the other night that board member Derek Luna announced that he was resigning. He's got family obligations that are very, very challenging, being with a new baby and all that. So they'll be looking for another member now.
Yeah, as of right now, there's nothing official. He did say something publicly at the meeting, but I do have to receive a letter from him to make it official. But I do want to say, if he gives me a letter, I do want to say that Mr. Luna did a wonderful job. I had a great relationship with him, and I thank him for all the work that he did for our students, staff, and community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And people that might be interested in serving the community, serving the schools, will have a district to consider running or being appointed, whatever way the board takes to fill that.
Yes, as a matter of fact, if I receive a letter from Mr. Luna, then I'll be working closely with Ventura County Office of Education. I will have to complete a form, and that'll start a time limit of, I believe it's 60 days.
Yes.
And they'll walk me through the process, but we will be, again, if all of this goes through, the board will be seeking either an appointment or a special election. If they seek an appointment, then individuals from Area 3, which is south of Harvard, and there's a little cutout around Isabel School, but it's basically south of Harvard and that little cutout. And interested folks, and all this stuff will be put out in Santa Paula Times. We'll put all that information out for everybody to know, but there'll be a process.
Yes. Oh, of course. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And it took me a while to realize that each one of the 5 districts have to have at least one school. And,
yep.
So I think that's and I didn't even realize that. Quite honestly, I'm embarrassed until I looked at this district you're discussing and said, oh, there's Isabel. And then it was like, the light bulb went on, But yes, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now, so the parents have been hanging in there with the distance learning. How's that going?
I first of all, I want to say thank you very much for their patience, their understanding. And again, I think everybody knows that it is not just Santa Paula, it is everywhere. And the fact that we have such a high positivity case rate, not only in the county. When I looked online in the county, it's 76.6 cases, positive cases per 100,000. And Santa Paula, I believe you mentioned, I'm not sure what number it is here in Santa Paula, but you had mentioned it's even higher than that here in Santa Paula. And in order to get from the purple tier to the red tier, which purple tier is the worst tier, we need to be 7 or below. We're not anywhere near that. However, the state is mentioning that they just put something out where TK through 5 districts can reopen schools if the positivity rate is 25 or below. So there's some promise there, but we will continue to work with both of our bargaining units, our teachers and our support staff, to work on reopening in the safest manner under the guidelines of the Ventura County Public Health Department.
And I know that you've basically been, that's your goal, is to reopen the school.
Absolutely.
And why don't you tell everyone some of the steps the district has taken to physically open? I mean, school is still in session, but what steps have you taken to physically, with the facilities and things like that, to prepare for the reopening when it comes?
First of all, thanks for asking, Peggy. I want parents and students to know that all of our schools have reopening safety plans. It is a well-written, detailed document for each school. and it lays out everything from personal protective equipment, social distancing, everything that is required of us, and probably going above and beyond, checking temperatures coming in. We're now working on what are the requirements for testing staff and students. They're still working on, when I say they, state and county, on the exact details of that, but whatever they are, we will follow them. We have thermal scanners for each one of our schools. You go walking up to them and they look like they're off, but as soon as you walk up to it, it notices that you're there, motion sensor, and it focuses on your face and it gives you a temperature reading, whether or not you're good to go or not. So there's a lot of things we've put into place and we're ready. It's just a matter of when will the positivity rates lower to the point where it's safe enough to have everybody come back.
And this will be countywide that they'll determine this on the positivity rates.
Countywide, those school districts do have some flexibility within the limits, within the guidelines of Ventura County Public Health.
Mm-hmm. Now, basically what's been going now, how's district learning going? I know that everybody, from the teachers to staff to especially the parents, and how's that all been going?
First of all, I want to thank our teachers for their creativity, their patience, their understanding. And I've got to say, I know they've learned a lot. Some who were very tech savvy, I'm sure felt very, very comfortable from the very beginning. Those who did not, I believe, have become familiar with it and have gotten to the point where they are very comfortable. But again, I want to say thank you to them. And again, to the support staff in the background making everything happen. I do want to say in regards to distance learning, everything works fine until the power goes out, which our district office went out and several of our schools, some schools had power, some schools didn't. Teachers that were working from home, if they had power, great. If they didn't, they had to make some adjustments. Students, you had mentioned you had your power on Tuesday, but some places in Santa Paula did not. So that's when distance learning does not work so well if you lose your power or the connectivity. So, but when it's working well, we've been working on this since last March. We're almost coming up on a year. So we're about 2 months away from a year, about 10 months now. So on our end, we're pretty good at it. I think parents and students have gotten good with it as well. But if it's working, it's great. It's like they say, technology is great when it's working and it's horrible when it's not working. Mm-hmm. So, but I do want to say one more thing. Teachers are assigning alternative assignments for students if they lose power or connectivity. So it's like a backup plan.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a great idea. You know, I mean, basically, because, you know, you don't want to, you've already had to kind of distance, you know, which is a word that we're using so much nowadays, but the students as it is from the physical classroom, and then you don't want them to feel they're cut off now because maybe their power's out or whatever. I mean, it's so important, but it seems like the staff, the school district staff is just so imaginative and have done such, I've had so many compliments from parents that we're so nervous about this and are very, very happy with the way things have been going. And I'm sure there's some out there that are not that happy, but I have heard, usually in life, you hear the complaints more than you hear the compliments. And I've gotten more compliments than complaints on distance learning. So I think what it's even offered, some of them. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And again, I thanked our certificated, our teachers. I thanked our support staff. I failed to thank our administrators who are working at their school sites and just helping keep everything together. So thank you to all three groups for just making this work under these unusual circumstances. Mm-hmm. I can't wait till we get past this.
I know. And of course, nobody has any idea of when that might be.
We had a leadership team meeting this morning on Zoom. So many meetings, just about every meeting's on Zoom. And I mentioned there's one thing I've learned since March 16th of last year, and that is things will change. Every time we're heading down one path, things change. We have to adapt, make alternative plans. We start heading down that path, things change. We have to make adjustments. It's been constant. It's been quite the challenge, but everybody's been stepping up and meeting these challenges.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's wonderful. Is there anything I didn't ask you about that you'd like to add, or any parting thought you might have, Dr. Cora?
No, I want to thank you and Mr. Bob Allen for giving me the opportunity for these updates. I also want to thank you and Bob Allen for doing all of the interviews with our administrators. It gave them a great opportunity to share a little bit about their school sites or their departments, and also give our parents in the community an opportunity to learn a little bit about who they are as well. So thank you for that opportunity. And to everybody, just remember to continue to follow the guidelines that are given to us. Wear your mask, socially distance yourself, and please avoid social gatherings. And I know it wasn't Thanksgiving, Christmas. It is tradition for all of us. But there's some commercials out where I saw stay apart now so we can get together later.
Yes.
And or soon, it should be, hopefully soon. So I just remind everybody, please remember to follow the guidelines that are given to us for safety.
Yeah, it's not going to last forever as long as we cooperate and not helping it along, you know.
Exactly.
Well, I'm good, and we'll keep that good thought. Okay, well, listen, thank you very much. Once again, I'm Peggy Kelly, and this is our education update. Today, our guest was Dr. Ed Cora, who is the superintendent of the Santa Paula Unified School District. You'll be able to watch this on Spectrum Cable Channel 10 on the government channel, and also on KADY.com or .net if you want to net it out. And if you watch us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. It's free, and we certainly helps bring us more broadcasting to you. And once again, Dr. Cora, thank you so much. And everybody out there, follow those guidelines, wash your hands, stay away, just do what you can, wear your masks, and we'll take care of this. We'll get rid of it. And we're all part of this. Thanks so much.
Peggy. Thanks, Peggy.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.